I'm not just covering this, I'm a part of it. Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your number one source for everything. It ends with us. Saga! Your boy has been mentioned in complaints and motions and filings, and I love it. And just today, I hit the It Ends With Us saga docket because of this. This Canadian entertainer who has worked in many capacities as a stand-in, I think he might have done stunts, he's an actor. His name is Brett Douglas McDowell. He has tried to intervene and interject himself legally in the It Ends With Us saga, even though Brett McDowell has no relation to any of this mess. I'm not even talking about the validity or perhaps lack thereof that he is claiming against Ryan Reynolds. I don't want to misrepresent what he's saying, but I think a fair assessment is this Brett guy alleges that Ryan Reynolds stole or was heavily influenced by him. Most recently in the last Deadpool movie. Okay, could be true. Could not be true. That is not relevant to these proceedings, in my opinion. Brett could file his own lawsuit, but he hasn't. Instead, he has tried to hop onto this one. He's already gotten rejected by Judge Lyman, and now he is trying to have the court reconsider. He says to the court that he wants to preserve the procedural record and provide supplemental context concerning conflicts of interest, reputational harm, and delayed communications that directly impact my protectable interests. I'm just skipping ahead. This is ridiculous. The issues raised in my filings, particularly those involving symbolic retaliation, cultural appropriation, and reputational targeting through the narrative pairing of dog pool and nice pool, remain unaddressed in the second amended complaint, which was not filed by the stated deadline, referring to Baldoni and the Wayfarer parties. He seems to have some issue with Brian Friedman, who is Baldoni's attorney and also my attorney. And why would he have issue with Baldoni's attorney when his issues are with Ryan Reynolds? I am just so... He says, it is unclear whether the omission of the second amended complaint reflects strategic legal discretion, concern over reputational implications, or another matter requiring disclosure. Bruh, the reason they did not file a second amended complaint does not have to be shared with you. It is clearly legal strategy. This is why I've not covered this guy before. All his filings are like this. I'm only doing this now because I mentioned. He argues, at this point, given Mr. Friedman's silence and the procedural posture of this case, I no longer believe leniency is warranted. Rather, his pattern of non-responsiveness, selective representation, and overlapping entanglements reinforces the urgent need to preserve my right to discovery access through limited intervention under Rule 24. No, file your own lawsuit! Nice Pool is only very inconsequentially related to all of this mess. And so much of what Brett is writing today is guessing and conjecture. Such as, it is further noted that based on public reporting and procedural patterns, the absence of Miss Blake Lively at her scheduled deposition may have contributed to this delay. The delay of the not filing a second amended complaint. It's not a delay. They're not filing it. If this is in fact the reason for the failure to file the second amended complaint, such strategic silence, absent clarification, only heightens the procedural ambiguity affecting all parties, including interveners with overlapping interests. He asserts that I should be granted access to those existing discovery materials before any settlement is finalized. Once again, seems like more speculation and conjecture, like I have been doing and others, that a settlement might be in the works. But speculation and conjecture should remain out of the court docket, I think. And here's my turn to dance. Brett says, furthermore, Perez Hilton, a known client of Mr. Friedman, was among the first to publicly reference the missed June 23rd filing deadline for the second amended complaint. But Boohoo has expressed that he will not report further on materials directly related to the symbolic and reputational concerns I have raised. See Exhibit A. Similarly, none of Mr. Friedman's other media or influencer-affiliated clients have acknowledged or addressed these overlapping matters. Bro, maybe people are not covering your intervention because they think it's a waste of time. They think it's not relevant. A little footnote here adds, based on the available data, Perez Hilton's post on June 23rd, which I published literally right after the deadline passed when it hit midnight on the East Coast. So at 9 p.m. June 23rd, but midnight on the 24th, appears to be one of the first, if not the first, public reports linking Justin Baldoni's failure to file the second amended complaint by the June 23rd deadline to a voluntary decision to drop all his claims against Blake Lively. The timing shortly after the deadline passed and the lack of earlier reports from other major outlets or ex-users on this specific development supports this observation. Yeah, I was following this story. I was obsessively hitting refresh on the court docket. This was a big story for me. I've been covering this saga intensely. Exhibit A is a screenshot of this post that I made in a Reddit community that I am a member of. It ends with lawsuits. And I said, blah, 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 blah. Surprised that Canadian actor Brett Douglas McDowell's motion for recusal of Judge Lyman has gotten so much chatter. Personally, I don't think his allegations against Ryan Reynolds are relevant to the It Ends With Us legal saga, but arguments could definitely be made about Judge Lyman and if he should be recused. I don't think what I said is problematic. I stand by it. Oh my God, this guy is taking it a step further. This is crazier than crazy. Brett says, should any discovery reveal that reputational management strategies, including payments to influencers, PR consultants, or media intermediaries, were undertaken in ways that obscured, dismissed, or discredited symbolic concerns like those raised in my filings, this would further substantiate my interest in intervention. I respectfully assert the intervention is warranted to preserve my rights and ensure procedural fairness. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm 99% sure that his intervention request is gonna get denied yet again. As it should be, I think. It's just so crazy. He's also trying to play both sides. Boo him, so crazy. What do you think? Should this Brett guy be allowed to intervene in this case? Let's discuss this, that, and everything in the comments.